Welcome to the fourth episode of this vlog. Today was day 4 of my 21-day fast and it has gone well. It has been a successful day. I have eaten nothing and I am feeling mostly fine. I can discern a slight decrease in the overall energy level and strength. If yesterday I was at 100%, today I was around 93% or so. So I believe this is the stage at which the transition from burning carbohydrates to burning fat occurs. So this seems to be the beginning of the transition. So the first 3 days I was quite active. I went to gym on the first day, lifted weights. The second day I went trekking, I climbed a hill. The third day also I did some workout. So the first 3 days I seem to have burned a lot of the glycogen that was stored in the body, and the metabolism now seems to be moving towards starting to burn fat. So that's where you find that the energy level drops for some time because the body is accustomed to burning carbohydrates for energy and it's not accustomed to burning fats for energy because of the kind of diets we usually eat. So that seems to be happening now. The next couple of days I could perhaps see more of this, but it's perfectly fine. It is something that's to be expected. It's what I have undergone in the past as well. So everything is going as expected. Once again, I've had some drop in weight, and this is what my weight looks like for today. As you can see, I've lost another ½ kilo of weight. Not as sharp a drop as before, but it's still a drop in weight. And that's how it's going to continue. So that's where I am. I'm fine. No issues. I'm sticking to the plan, 0 calories, and that's what it is. So now let me take a few questions because many of you have asked questions. Before I go into that, let me just once again put out this disclaimer that I would like to request you not to do this, not to do what I'm doing. Whatever I say is not to be interpreted as medical advice, and I am requesting you, I am exhorting all of you, please do not do what I am doing. This is potentially very dangerous. I have done this in the past. I know how it works, and it's still a risk. So it could turn out to be dangerous for somebody else if you don't do it under medical supervision, and you should not even do that under medical supervision. Just don't do it. Fasting should not be done more than a day or two, maybe 3 days at most for most people, right? Right. So with that in mind, let's take some questions. So this is the first question. Why do you choose to fast for 21 days? Why not 20 or 22? Is there any specific reason behind this? There is no specific reason. 21 days is 3 weeks, which sounds like a nice round number. So that's why I've chosen 21 days. The last time I did this in 2020, I had initially targeted 21 days, but then I did 2 days more. So I ended up fasting for 23 days. So there's no real reason for this number, 21 days. If things go well, I may go beyond that number this time also. So let's see how it goes. So there's no specific reason for that. Okay, the second question is by Asmita. Exercise will result in a loss of salt from the body, which will not get replenished since there is no food intake. How will that be taken care of? How will you know whether the body has been detoxified at the end of the water diet? So the first 2 times I did this fast, I did not take any salt. I did not consume any electrolytes. So and I survived. I came out of it just fine. I did not have any genuine health issues. So the human body is incredibly resilient. It can do without electrolytes for 3 weeks at a time. But this time I am taking all the precautions. I am taking electrolytes, magnesium and potassium. I'm also taking calcium. I think I forgot to mention that, but all these are 0 calorie things. And as far as salt is concerned, I am adding a little bit of salt to the green tea that I drink. And I'm also drinking black tea, which contains some natural salt. So that will take care of the sodium requirements. So that's what I'm doing. As far as the calories are concerned, it's all 0 calories, but I am ensuring that I take sufficient electrolytes, the recommended daily allowance of electrolytes, more or less. How will I know the body has been detoxified at the end of the diet of the 21-day fast? I don't really know that it's been detoxified. I expect I will feel much better. The skin will look very different. It will be glowing and all. So there are signs. I will feel that the energy is much higher even though I have not eaten for 3 weeks and so on. So you feel the change in the body. There is no actual measure of detoxification. There is no way to quantify the detoxification, but you feel overall better. You can see the glow of the skin and all that. So that indicates that certain processes have taken place in the body that have been beneficial. So that's how we know, more or less, that the body has undergone beneficial changes internally, and which is what we call detoxification. The next question is by Aditya. I am 5 feet 11 inches tall, 19 years old, and my weight is currently 72 kilos approximately. I wanted to ask you about how much protein and calories I should consume in a day to gain at least 7 to 8 kilos of muscle, and some particular food items I should consume regularly. I am a pure vegetarian, I don't take supplements, and I work out at home. I'm good at lifting weights. Right, so first of all, I am not a medical professional, but I have a lot of experience in lifting weights, building up the body and muscles and all that. So what I can tell you is that the current medical advice, dietary advice, is that you need to consume 2 grams of protein per kilo of body weight. So if your weight is 72 kilos, you should consume 144 grams of protein per day. That's the accepted wisdom in the bodybuilding domain as of today. So that's what you should be targeting, right? You want to gain 7 to 8 kilos of muscle, I'm assuming, in the next 1 year, because that much muscle, it takes time to build. It's easy to gain weight overall. Much of it will be fat, but to gain lean body weight, which is muscle, it takes time. 7 to 8 kilos would typically take between I would say 6 to 12 months, depending on your metabolism, your genetics, and so on and so forth. I think it's possible to build 7-8 kilos even in 4 months or so if you go on a drastic bulking plan, and if you know how to do it, possibly, perhaps, but you should not try and achieve that sort of result in such short amount of time. What particular food item should you consume regularly, considering you're vegetarian? Well, there are so many good sources of vegetarian protein. The pulses, the dals, are a great source of protein. They are called superfoods because they have other health effects as well. And you can also consume dairy products. If you consume dairy, paneer is an excellent source of protein. So yes, consume legumes, dals, various yellow and pink and red dals. You can consume kidney beans, rajma. You can consume chickpeas, chana, black chana, Kabuli chana. You can consume the paneer. You can consume tofu if you wish. So all of these things have a significant amount of protein. Actually, it is believed that vegetarians don't have much choice when it comes to eating sufficient protein, but that's not the case. Vegetarians have a lot of choice and a lot of options. So that's what you should do. And as long as you are good at lifting weights, as long as you know what to do, what plan to follow, you should be able to bulk up 7-8 kilos in 1 year at most. So good luck for that, right? Okay, next question is by Harshit. How do you try to control yourself when you see your family members or strangers, etc., eating something? Does it bring the thought of eating that particular food instead of doing this fast? Curious to know. Well, in my case, I don't face that problem at all. I am not tempted. I just don't face that problem. I mean, of course, people eat in front of me, very tasty food. It smells nice and all. It looks great. But once you decide something, once you decide not to eat for a certain time, the thought of eating doesn't come. That's how it works for me. At least thus far, it has worked that way. Eventually, down the line, I think the cravings and all will raise their head. But it's all about willpower to some extent, and it should not be an issue. So thus far, the past 3-4 days, I have not had any cravings. People, of course, are eating nice food in front of me. It's not an issue for me thus far. Eventually, it will be, but I'll be able to manage most likely. Next question. This is a silly question. Can you please tell us which coffee and green tea do you consume during the fast? Which brand? What's the name? Yeah. So that's the question. Well, the brand doesn't really matter. I have been consuming mostly Nescafe, the instant coffee. And I went out once, like I said, I went out and I had a big Starbucks black coffee. So the brand doesn't matter. And yeah, so, and as far as the green tea is concerned, I am consuming green tea and black tea. I don't remember which brand. It's not important. As long as it's 0 calories and it's a reasonably good quality thing, it should be fine. So that's all I can say. I don't remember the brand of the tea. The coffee that I have taken so far has been Nescafe and Starbucks once. So that's what I can say. The next question is by Neil. The question is, what is intermittent fasting? Can everyone do it without much risks? And does it offer the same benefits as your 21-day fast? So intermittent fasting is when you consume whatever food you want to eat for a day within a certain time window. Some people eat all their food within an 8-hour time frame and they fast for the remaining 16 hours of the day. Some people eat their food within a 6-hour time window and fast the remaining 18 hours of the day. If you take it to a more extreme level, some people eat all their food within a 2-hour window and fast 22 hours. And some people just eat one big meal in a day and that's it. Does it have any risks? Not really. See, the human species has evolved in an environment where food was always scarce. Our ancestors 10,000, 20,000 years ago were hunter-gatherers. They had to hunt their food. They had to gather whatever little vegetable materials they could find or fruits, and it was not always plentiful. So they would go at times for days without food, and that's what the human body has evolved to excel at. Now in the 21st century, 20th century, we eat 3 meals a day. It's actually quite harmful to our health. So fasts are good. Medical research has shown time and again that fasts are beneficial. So one of the ways of experiencing the benefits of fasting without having to go for extended periods of time is intermittent fasting. So yeah, it does offer lots of benefits. Does it offer the same benefit as a 21-day fast? We don't have data to support or not support that, so I can't answer that question with authority, but it offers significant amounts of benefits. So I think everybody can benefit from this sort of practice if they are able to do that. The next question is by Priyanshi. Thank you, Priyanshi. The question is, how do you manage everything? I mean, live sessions, business, being on other shows, reading, gaining knowledge all the time. Where does the energy gain come from? Where's your inspiration? I don't think I am doing a lot if you consider some other people who do much more than me in the same 24 hours that everybody else, everybody has. I mean, think about world leaders, think about the Prime Minister of India. They have to take on so many responsibilities and get so much work done. And they also have the same 24 hours that we all have. So it's all about proper time management. As long as you can plan properly, manage your time properly, and more importantly, manage your energy properly, you can accomplish all these things. Energy management may even be more important than time management, because on a given day, your energy levels fluctuate. They go up and down. Sometimes you have higher energy, sometimes you have lower energy. So if you can do your most important work when you have the most energy, that really helps. So all that is considered in time management, and that's how I do it. I don't think I'm accomplishing a lot of work. I would like to accomplish much more. So that's where it all comes from. What's my inspiration? My inspiration is all of you. I mean, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing without all of you. If you were not watching my live sessions, if you were not asking me thousands of questions per week, I would not be doing what I am doing. So my inspiration is simply you, the youngsters, especially. More than half my audience is youngsters below 25 years of age. Many of them are teenagers, and I see this great desire to learn and to do something good for the country and also for the world, and that is my inspiration. That's why I am doing what I'm doing, and I am going to continue doing this. I'm going to give away all of my knowledge, whatever I've acquired, whatever little I have, I'm going to give it away as much as possible. And of course, like I've said, I'm never going to charge anything for that. So that's my inspiration. Okay, the next question is, at the end of last year's fast, you said you will go on OMAD or something similar to that, where you would eat all you want in a 2-hour window. Were you on the same diet during the fast, before the fast? And if yes, is it helping to surpass the hunger, cravings, and How is your experience the 2 times you were on the normal diet and the current one? Okay. So yes, I had said I would go on an OMAD diet, 1 meal a day diet. And that's what I did for most of the intervening period between the previous fast and this one. Of course, there have been times when I have fallen off the wagon, and I have had days when I have eaten lots of food that I should not be eating. There have been even longer periods of time when I have not stuck to the diet. So yeah, that's the thing, you need to be, I personally would like to be way more disciplined than what I am. So this is one of the ways I want to do that, to discipline myself to go on a 21-day fast that builds the willpower muscle, the discipline muscle. And yeah, so once I break this fast, I would like to go back on a 1 meal per day diet, eat everything you can in 1 meal, your entire intake of food, and that really works well for me. I have done it for most of the intervening period. And yeah, maybe it helps suppress the hunger cravings when you get any. Essentially, when you are on a 1 meal a day diet, you don't get any hunger cravings for the rest of the time when you're not eating. So that's one of the ways of maintaining the right amount of caloric intake and the right food. Because see, when you eat just 1 meal a day, you will want to eat the best possible food. You will not want to eat junk food. So that's one way of eating healthy, So that's what kind of works for me. And that's where I will go back to once this fast is completed. And the last question for today is by Shivam. Will you also lose muscle during the fast? Unfortunately, I will lose muscle during the fast. The previous 2 times I did a fast, I lost a significant amount of muscle. Not a huge amount, but I had to rebuild a few kilos of muscle all over again. And I also lost some strength as well. And strength is typically measured in how much you can lift, how much you can deadlift. So typically I start by warming up around, my warm-up set is around 60 kilos. I do 10 repetitions twice, 2 sets of 60 kilos. And then I go up in weight until I reach about 120, 130 kilos. So that's my current strength. Now, at the end of this fast, I suppose I will have significantly reduced strength. The last time I completed a 23-day fast, I was struggling to lift 50 kilos, in my deadlift. So I did the first workout I did was 50 kilos deadlifts, 10 sets of 10. That's 100 repetitions in total. And I really struggled with that. So I expect something similar will happen this time. I will also lose muscle. So that's what I will have to rebuild over time, over the next 3-4 months, but that's fine. I know how to do that. So yes, one does lose muscle as well as fat, mostly fat, but also muscle when one undertakes a long fast such as this one. So that brings me to an end of today's vlog. Thank you very much once again to all of you for your support, for your wishes, for your questions. Keep commenting, keep asking questions, and I will do my best to answer your questions. So that's it for today, and I will see you tomorrow. Thank you. Bye.